Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, I'd like a hot dog all the way, please.
Coming up. Here you go.
Thank you. Ew. What is this?
That's a corn-based hot dog flavored tube-shaped thing. It's almost good. That'll be $4.50.
You know what? No thanks.
If almost good enough isn't good enough for you, why would it be good enough for your pet? Add Kennel Kelp to your furry friend's diet. Sprinkled on your pet's food, Kennel Kelp helps with arthritis pain and stiff joints. It can also reduce shedding, fill in missing areas, and improve their looks. Healthy pets show even more energy and have better attitudes. See results in 4 to 8 weeks. The good news is, Kennel Kelp isn't just for pets. It's good for you, too. Sprinkle it on your cereal, or use it instead of table salt when seasoning your food. Kennel Kelp is the holistic care solution for pets and their people. Safe for dogs, cats, birds, cows, chickens, reptiles, almost anything that walks, flies, or slithers. It's a holistic health solution for humans, too. To learn about their many products, visit kennelkelp.com. Get Kennel Kelp for a happier, healthier life.
Talk on the phone, all while keeping total control of your dog and his leash. When it's time for your dog to run free, a quick flick of the clip releases it. There's nothing else like the Liberty wristband. Order yours today at kennelkelp.com. That's Kennel and Kelp with a K. Kennelkelp.com.
For people with physical challenges, walking a dog can be difficult, even dangerous, but the Liberty wristband makes life so much easier. Developed by a disabled veteran, the Liberty wristband easily straps around your wrist, then uses a unique clip to hold your dog's leash tight, all while keeping both of your hands free. Releasing your dog is easy too. With a quick flick of the clip, your dog is free. The Liberty wristband, order yours today at kennelkelp.com. That's Kennel and Kelp with a K. Kennelkelp.com. Yeah, I'd like a hot dog all the way, please.
Coming up. Here you go.
Thank you. Ew. What is this?
That's a corn-based hot dog flavored tube-shaped thing. It's Western medicine cannot explain to me why I'm doing so well. Yet you and I see that we know for a fact that nutrition's getting to the molecular and cellular level. I'm still sick, but I'm managing a life instead of deteriorating to pass. Well, that's incredible. And the limited nutrition that you're getting is absorbed. It's absorbed better in the cells. Yeah, giving me greater strength because the technology does affect the semi-permeable membrane in the cell, where it takes in nutrients more efficiently and it excretes the waste. Remember when I was learning acupuncture and some lady had a biopsy on her tongue? It was a massive infection. And Western medicine, antibiotics, and everything wasn't taking care of it. She started doing acupuncture, and I noticed that after she would do the acupuncture on this person, that the tongue would become redder, and she said it was due to the increased circulation, and it's finally cleared up. Interesting, because they're sending good energy there over time. That's right. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know, sending better blood circulation, better energy, and obviously there's a better communication between these cells. Absolutely. And we've noted that from day one, have we not? We have. Blood cell analysis? That's right. We've seen that when a cell becomes sticky, as they call it, it's talking as an educated word, cells become sticky, they pull energy and or whatever it is they're looking for to become whole on their own terms. There is no rhyme, there is no reason. They're going to do whatever they have to do to become whole. That's their goal, but they become sticky because there's no communication between the two, right? And they almost become confused together because of the inability to become whole. When we added the technology to the blood cell analysis from the animals, we saw that. Immediately the cells were restructuring themselves and pulling away and free-flowing, whole and healthy. And there is a better communication between the cells. Better communication. So you're suggesting or sharing with us today that a better communication in the cells can do what for us all? Certainly increase the blood flow, and it certainly can heal these areas. And we know that blood flow is impressive to minimizing a lot of infections, a lot of disease, a lot of inflammatory issues, arthritic issues that have come about, which many people have today. When we expedite blood flow, in water for 20 minutes every morning to warm him. Remember, he said this to us. He put the technology on it in 72 hours, comes back, and he has free-flowing hands, and the thermal images showed that as well. Today, he's had a baby just recently, and he gets to hold his baby without his hands going under hot water. Could you imagine what that would mean alone? I know what that means. Here we are today, 4th generation. 20,000 times more powerful than the original.
And the thing is, it's measurable. Through the thermographs.
Right. And blood cell analysis.
Blood cell
Biomeridian machines, which are FDA regulated.
That's right.
We also have the Geiger meters, which shows all of the dirty energy in your home and then shows it protecting against that. We've done those cellular tests. So it's, we're the only company out there that's showing real science. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're right.
I can't find it.
No, a lot of them are making claims, but they don't even know. They're not even their claims.
Well, how many people have been stealing our information for the last 8 years?
Well, they're going to be stealing our information. But, our product is superior to their product.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've been playing around with the scalar energy and the range, and we were able to really hit those cells at the pico level.
Absolutely. At the pico level, different than the nano. We still have the nano level, but we also have a pico level. And today's science, both of us are due diligence. We're only recognizing that they're still working in nano. Not too many people who advanced to pico, and yet we have 5 years at pico.
That's right. And that's the atomic and subatomic level.
Right. Really is interesting. That, when it reaches that cell and molecule, like you said, boy, it's made learning so much fun.
Well, the other thing, that's where most of the metabolic processes take place in our body.
Explain that.
And we're hitting it. We're hitting the atoms. We're hitting it, before it goes into that Krebs cycle.
What's a Krebs cycle?
I knew you would ask me that. That actually metabolizes the energy in the cell.
All
for
right.
energy.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, so science absolutely acknowledges that energy is relative to every molecule in every cell.
But the thing is, even in the news now, there's a lot of treatments for a lot of diseases. They are hitting the nano and pico levels. We have a lot of exciting things coming up. I mean, we're putting together those clinical trials.
Tell me a little bit more about where we are.
On those, well, we're getting closer. We're writing the grants. We have the doctors to do it. We're going to be putting it on cancer patients with neuropathy. And after that, we'll be putting it on some diabetic patients with neuropathy. So we should get some nice data out of that.
Reproductive function, appetite, depression, anxiety. CBD, short for cannabidiol, is a non-psychoactive compound in cannabis responsible for many of cannabis's medical benefits. On the other hand, THC, short for tetrahydrocannabinol, is the psychoactive compound in marijuana that causes the high associated with cannabis use. They are two completely separate cannabinoids, which are a class of chemical compounds that interact with special receptors in our body called cannabinoid receptors. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, an American neurosurgeon and CNN's chief medical correspondent, changed his stance on the prohibition of cannabis while investigating its powerful therapeutic properties and witnessing CBD successfully treat Americans. He shocked mainstream America, saying, "We have been terribly and systematically misled for nearly 70 years in the United States, and I apologize for my role in that." Through Dr. Gupta's review of the history of cannabis, he found that it has been a legitimate medicine for at least 3,000 years. And Dr. Gupta isn't alone in supporting cannabis research. The director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, Dr. Nora Volkov, testified before the Senate saying that CBD appears to be a safe drug with no addictive effects, and the preliminary data suggests that it may have therapeutic value for a number of medical conditions. Research has shown that CBD can influence many conditions and bodily functions, including inflammation, neuropathic pain, autoimmune disease, energy regulation, metabolism, reproductive function, appetite, depression, anxiety, and even cancer. But how can one cannabinoid affect so many bodily processes without causing adverse side effects? The answer lies in our biochemistry, the natural intelligence of the body. We have naturally occurring cannabinoid receptors all over our body that interact with CBD. We have these receptors because our body is constantly making its own cannabinoids. These receptors and cannabinoids make up most of our endocannabinoid system, or ECS. Our ECS is always in action, and it functioning properly is a major factor in keeping us healthy. Many doctors now think that some people suffer from an endocannabinoid imbalance, known as clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, or CED. People suffering from CED may benefit by supplementing with cannabinoids such as CBD. CBD is the most abundant cannabinoid in hemp, a cannabis crop the federal government allowed individual states to legalize in the 2014 Farm Bill. Hemp-derived CBD is legal in all 50 states, is non-addictive, does not cause a high, and is easy to incorporate into your current health routine.
Okay, hello, yes, and good morning, and welcome once again to the BH Sales Kennel Kelp Holistic Healthcare Show, and I'm your host, Bill, and good Tuesday morning, June the 26th, approximately 5:40, and playing right to the description of today's show, after the two intro commercials, one being for my Kennel Kelp product, and the other one being for my Liberty wristband product, which I'll talk about in future shows and have talked about archivally here and on my blogs over at my website in the past. And then you actually heard Dr. Lee, Jeffrey Lee, my friend and business constituent that I've talked about over the last decade, and Greg Prom, who's actually the innovator and creator of the C7 technology, scalar energy chip, and the Sea Miracle 7 Superfoods, which plays to the description of today's show. In the description of today's show, I put a link for a article that documents some scientific studies that have documented the ideal polysaccharide and fucoidan levels of not only my own kennel kelp, but with the Sea Miracle 7, with the 7 strains that are featured in the scientific study. This has 118 nutrients in and of itself and goes right to the cellular level. And you've heard me talk since March and way before in years past about Greg Prom and his battle with gastroparesis and how the product's keeping him alive, the technology, Dr. Lee, and the studies that are presently in to the City of Hope out in Los Angeles. So you can listen back into that. And I will continue to talk. You also heard a quick outtake of a cannabinoid audio. And my last couple of shows, I've been talking a lot about the cannabinoid and how I just joined up with a dedicated website of my own. And over the weekend I had a big sale, and lo and behold, now being Tuesday, I already have a team of helpers and for a great opportunity. So I'm also using this show as a vehicle for my team members to come in and let's see how we can approach introducing what's now becoming revolutionary in the marketplace with all these CBD oils. And in the last couple of shows, I alluded to the distinction of what makes ours different, how it's manufactured in a GMP facility, and how it also simply gives you an option if you choose to do so, to have the opportunity to be healthy for life and also have the opportunity to generate some nice residual income for yourself, your family, and whomever and however you choose to market your free website if you decide to come on board. And you can also have the free website and remain simply a customer, and the website is yours to use under that premise when you're ready to reorder if you like the products and so on and so forth. So you want to visit my last two shows archivally, and I wanted to talk, like I said today, more about the CBD and try to incorporate, as this happens so rapidly. It's all very positive. It just reinforces what we're trying to do out there by introducing these cannabinoids and the diversity of the product, both for pets and humans. And you want to check out my slideshow at the intro of today's show as well, and the link that goes right to my direct website pertinent to the CBDs, SBAsales.com, myctfocbd.com, all referenced in the link of the show and over at my blog and website. When you get to the website, do check out the Sea Miracle and C7 technology page, all about the videos and where Greg and Dr. Lee are at this juncture. And I talked about Al Warrington a few shows ago and the national distributorship for the Sea Miracle 7 product. That's also another great way to get healthy in my entourage of products. Again, to my clients' options, interested parties, or what have you. I have a BH Sales 50/25 virtual voucher program that I've talked about for years, and many of my clients are on that program. It's very unique. It's totally unique. I created it, and nobody does this in the industry anywhere. It's all self-explanatory over at my website, and there's been many shows to that, but the very quick overview is if you choose the option to order direct to the manufacturers, I've talked a lot about that. When you order, let's say, Sacred Clay, visit my website. If you ordered a jar of Sacred Clay, you just simply tell them BA sales code. That keys them in to give you the invoice number, what have you, on that side of life. They'll extend whatever special pricing and sales they may offer at the time. You simply get back in touch with me, documenting the order, with your invoice number. It's real easy. It's not complicated. That just documents that, you did it the way that you should to entitle you to the BA Sales 50/25 virtual voucher. And then at that juncture, you can use the virtual voucher at any time, no expiration date, for a 50% discount on my Kennel Kelp powders. Not my Kennel Kelp powders, my Kennel Kelp flaked animal feed grade 50-pound bags are not pertinent to the 50% discount, but my 1, 5, 10, and 20-pound bags are, and/or a 25% discount on any of these other products that are featured at my Kennel Kelp website. So it's a pretty creative way, and I've talked a lot about combining them with customer rewards in my 4 auto-ship programs and so forth. Well, what I'm going to do today is I'm also going to extend an extra value-added. If anybody wants to participate on the opportunity of having their own website and helping me out in promoting the business and helping our team out, and then the opportunity to enjoy some good, healthy income out of that, those folks, I'll give the incentive of you absolutely have, any of my team members have lifetime 50/25 pricing on any of my products that I feature over to BH Sales and Kennel Kelp. So that gives you the opportunity with all of these products that I have and the consultations that I've talked about, direct consultations with Al Warrington and being members of his buying club, my buying club. We've been talking about the tourmaline water. You want to check out that. I talked about that in a couple episodes ago with CBD. It's a great vessel to get it into your system. And tomorrow, I'll talk more about some more products like I did yesterday. But today, I want to start to gear the conversation to the side of the fence of the way of how to help yourself, help your family, help your pets, and give you a little bit of the dynamic of what separates this from all the other programs out there. The paradigm of the pay structure, should you decide to come on board, is copyrighted, number one. And it isn't multi-level, and it is not a pyramid scheme. You get guilty by association and some of the negative connotations of all that other stuff. First of all, it's completely voluntary. You're not committed to meeting any levels. You don't have to have magic numbers or whatever. It's very straightforward. I would suggest everybody avail yourself the opportunity to at least edify yourself to the information at that website, whether you choose to exercise the option or not. But with the CBD's industry as a whole, which I've talked about at length, and I've talked about Mike Adams, who's also a business associate, and I'm a client, and I also promote his products. His products are also featured at my website over at kennelkelp.com. Again, 50-25 virtual vouchers. Basically, when I changed the course of the business that I also talked about in yesterday's show for 2018, I'm virtually, no pun intended, double entendre there, I'm actually offering the BSO 50-25 virtual vouchers across the board, basically on any kind of a sale that goes direct to the manufacturer, regardless of, my affiliation directly, my association. I've had all these titles and positions and all of that. Talk about where I'm at in life and semi-retirement, all of that. Thus was one of the most attractive things for me to get on board, not only crave and with health benefits, medically proven, and I already have products coming from my pets and my family that I've talked about before. And that's how a long-standing client immediately replied over the weekend, and I have a couple of 3 family members. Those of you that have followed me for any amount of time, and this is also clearly depicted on my website. I basically do everything for my granddaughter. That's my main concern. Moving forward, and this is a very substantial way to build for her future and have the capability. I've talked many times over at the website about when she was a little bit younger. She is soon to go into parochial school next year. Also, why I'm looking to generate more income, private school. But I taught her at the school about worm factories and gardens and all of that, and you can read about all of that at my website. Point being, I also wanted to do what I could for her in lieu of maybe monetarily when I go to the great beyond, but, future for college and so on and so forth. Teaching her, in my humble opinion, of over 40 years of being a purveyor of some sort of all kinds of things, and I'll try to exchange some examples of some of my capacities in the past is how they would tie into this in a moment, with about 5 minutes left in this episode. But in any event, I wanted to jump on board for my granddaughter, and then knowing how hard my son works and his wife and my nephew, who also has 5 children, one that just entered college and 2 that would be right behind it, I knew he would not only be interested because he also has chronic pain himself on a level for the medicinal value, but definitely understands and appreciates the potential of the residual income with basically, please don't compare the commodity when I use this example, but basically the premise. It would be almost like an Avon party if you chose to go that route, or a Tupperware party or something like that. And it doesn't even have to get to that extreme. Point being, if you did to your own family members and extend it out, and with social media and there's some good things coming up with the administrative side of it, with an innovative program to really expedite the mobile phone applications for those that choose to come on board from the business side of it. But getting back to like my nephew and the college expenses and what have you, this is also a superlative startup, if you will, for a very young person, college age, high school, especially with the social media craze and FaceTime and all of those things that they do. Like my granddaughter, who at this juncture is only 11, but her mom will be involved, and her dad backhandedly. And again, this is all about her future, and I'm trying to set some business tenet philosophies with her. She's a pretty incredible kid. I've talked about, she's always asking me from a little kid up to teach her about business and so forth, and she's always coming up with these ideas of yard sales and so forth, and ways to make money, not from a mercenary sake, but having an appreciation of getting the value of what work means and working in earnest, having a good work ethic, but also being very in tune. That generation is, anyhow, with the earth and what these products do for the people, planets, pets, and the environments. So with the last couple of minutes for today, I just wanted, I was kind of all over the board in this episode, but again, everything has been happening so rapidly that I wanted to try to use this as a multifaceted vehicle to show itself in the blog, and definitely will be moving forward. And again, being a sole proprietor, which I've talked about before, those of a certain age bracket will remember the Ed Sullivan Show. I've used this reference many times before. Being a sole proprietor, like any of you guys out there that are retail proprietors or shopkeepers or work at a house or work for yourselves or what have you, back in the day, one of the featured guests that used to have some regularity, you can check it on the World Wide Web, was the man that spun all the plates on the stage to crescendo music, and he'd run up and down the stage, and oh my God, would he get to the end of that last spinning plate before it crashed to the floor? Well, my crazy analogy there is we're all running around being crazy and going fast and hurry up and go and trying to make a couple extra bucks and maybe working 90 hours a week and so on and so forth. So this is just a real viable opportunity, and I just would avail yourself the opportunity to go to my website, just read about it, and you would never hear from me. I don't do high pressure or anything like that. If you come on board on the team, I certainly will work with you and for you. But if nothing else, do sign up for the products, because for as little as 47 and some change a month, if you sign up for the auto ship program, for, whatever that equates to, $500 a year, you'll gain optimum health, and with my BH Sales 5025 virtual vouchers and being entitled to the Sea Miracle 7, the C7 technology, my Power Trio, the Earth and Clays, and all of those healthy products, the tourmaline water. You really can be a one-stop shop, and these are ways to dissipate all these heavy-duty shipping costs and so forth, and get back extra credit by being and buying clubs and referrals, customer referrals. So check out the testimonials over at my website. And for today, always remember that BH Sales promotes good health in all animals and humans. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day.